Jocko Willink is a best-selling author, motivational speaker, ex-Navy SEAL, and also a martial artist. It's no secret that Willink is physically active and in great shape for his age. He credits this to training martial arts and taking them pretty seriously. As a result, he has also preached the mental benefits of training as well. If you listen to his podcast, you'll realise that Willink is pretty big on martial arts. After his reputation as a former Navy SEAL, it's probably what he's best known for, and he takes training pretty seriously. Here are a list of the styles that Jocko Willink has trained. Undeniably, Willink's strongest martial art is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is a black belt under Dean Lister, who is a legend within the community, and Willink has trained with him for years. They opened a gym together, named Victory MMA, where they both teach and train. Willink and Lister promoted his podcast co-host Echo Charles to black belt in 2019. Willink began training BJJ in 1992 after being introduced to it by a fellow Navy SEAL. Apparently, Willink was physically dominated and took interest as he wanted to learn more about combat, so it made sense to learn Jiu-Jitsu. Over 30 years later, it seems that Willink is still as enthusiastic as ever about BJJ. Not only this, but he is also over 100 kilograms of pure muscle, which obviously helps. Because of this, Willink has been known for his heavy pressure and crushing top game. During his younger years, he competed in BJJ quite a lot, and even fought Jeff Monson, which can be seen in footage online. Such is Willink's love of BJJ that he even part owns a BJJ gi company called Origin Maine. These produce high quality, US made gis. In case you hadn't figured it out by now, Jocko Willink absolutely loves BJJ and can't speak highly enough about it. Aside from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Willink is also complementary towards both boxing and Muay Thai. Arguably, these are the two best striking martial arts to learn, so it makes sense that he favours them. It's not really known how much Willink has trained these arts or how good he is at them. However, we can assume that he doesn't dedicate as much time to striking as he does to Jiu-Jitsu. Still, as he owns an MMA gym, these are both obviously taught on the curriculum. Over the years, you'd expect Willink to have at least dabbled in striking, which is why he speaks so highly of both boxing and Muay Thai. Although primarily a BJJ specialist, Jocko can also wrestle pretty well. If you've trained Jiu-Jitsu for over 30 years, then you'd expect this to be the case, as no-gi Jiu-Jitsu incorporates a lot of wrestling. Furthermore, if you've seen his Jiu-Jitsu matches, then you'll notice he likes to engage in takedowns from standing position. Overall, Willink doesn't exactly look like he pulls guard. Combined with his 105 kg frame, the thought of wrestling Jocko Willink doesn't sound too appealing. In addition to this, you'd also expect him to know some judo, as he regularly trains in the gi. As many gi-based athletes also use judo, it's very likely that he knows at least a little. Nonetheless, Willink hasn't mentioned judo, but has often praised wrestling. Over the years, Jocko Willink has also spoken regularly about his thoughts on shooting. In his mind, he sees this as a martial art, as it's a skill that can be performed in combat. Many people share this opinion, although some believe that shooting isn't a martial art. Regardless of your opinion, it turns out that Willink happens to be pretty good with firearms. This goes back to his SEAL days, where he saw action in both the Afghanistan and Iraq wars. Obviously, you'd expect a Navy SEAL to have a good aim. Since then, Willink still practices shooting and is complimentary about the safety benefits of being good with guns. Jocko Willink is certainly a skilled martial artist. Anyone that has put in over 30 years of training into one's skill will definitely be proficient, and that's the case with Willink and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you dig deeper though, you'll also notice he's pretty varied in his styles and training. As well as Jiu-Jitsu, Willink knows boxing, Muay Thai and wrestling. In other words, fighting him would obviously be a nightmare, and he could easily beat most other men on the planet. When you throw in his firearms skills, it means that Willink is very well versed in many disciplines. To summarise, Jocko Willink is a true martial artist.